Welcome back to another video. So today I finally get to make some more progress with my Mazda RX7 FD after months of waiting. Now if you've been watching my previous videos you will know I've stripped this front end off of my car for a reason. If you haven't been watching then I'll just quickly give you a run through of why I've done this. So I've removed my stock OEM bonnets and one of my OEM wings, but Concept 7 that's well known in the UK has modified a bonnet with two vents in at the top. So it's basically a feed bonnet replica. And the fenders are going to look the same but 25mm wider, so it's just going to give my car a little bit of a wider look but not take away the OEM Plus look that I've gone for. So that's kind of the idea that I've gone for, and it's a first for Concept 7 in the UK that's doing this sort of stuff to my RX7, so I'm very happy about that. Now there's no way of hiding this. You can see in the background I have one huge box that's led up against my wall and another big toolbox that's in front of it. Now the new bonnet is clearly in the bigger box and the two new wings are in the other box. It's been a bit of a nightmare to get that down from Stockton-on-Tees because I'm miles away from where Concept 7 is, but I've got there in the end and the boxes are finally here today with me. What I'm gonna do is get these boxes out onto the floor. We're gonna cut everything open, check all of the goods, make sure there's no damage, and then I can start to at least place some of this stuff just on the car just to get an idea of what this is going to look like. Once I've done that, I'm going to start with trying to fit the driver's side wing first, because Concept 7's already pre-warned me that that wing is going to be the tighter one to fit out of the two. So he did say don't be afraid to put some pressure onto it, and it will fit because he has test fitted it on an RX7 at his end. The bonnet, I've got a few things to do with that. I need to transfer some of the things like the washer jets, also the washer jet tubing. I need to transfer the Greddy carbon fibre dampers onto it, which I'm really hoping the weight of the bonnet is not going to affect those working. If it does, then that's going to be something else I'm going to have to modify on this car. But fingers crossed it doesn't come to that. And then I can start to make my way over to the other side of the car, and I need to remove the other stock wing because I've just left that on there for now, just purely so I can see the difference in width when I put the new one on one side, just so I can show you guys and I'd like to see for myself. So yeah, let's get these packages out and see what we've got today. So I grabbed out the largest box first from the unit. There was two boxes literally glued together, as you can see me struggling to cut it apart. Once I got through that, the bonnet is now revealed. By the way, this was just a one-off bonnet made just for my RX7 that Concept 7 did. He won't be making any more of these in the future. However, he does a different bonnet with the 4 vents instead of the 2. Now it's onto the second box, which has my two 25mm wider OEM style wings. Concept 7 will be looking to sell these in the future for other RX7 owners for around £300 a pair, I believe. Also inside the box there was some arch extensions for the stock arch liner, which you just see me take out. This is now the items revealed. I just need to do an inspection check off camera. Next step I need to do is remove these bits of wood from the bonnet just by simply using a 10mm ratchet. So here is all of the goods, and basically I've just done an inspection check on everything. The bonnet is completely fine from what I can see, but unfortunately it's not good news for both of the wings. So the first thing I noticed, especially with the passenger side wing, if I bring this camera down, is you can see this damage here on the edges. Now I don't think it's Concept 7's fault the way they've packaged it. I actually think they packaged it pretty damn well. I think this is something that's happened in the courier, so something's lent on this, and because this material is quite soft, it's only a black gel coat, I think the damage has happened via that. But if I go to the courier service, because the box isn't completely like in a really bad way, they're just going to straight away pretty much say this, it's not their fault, and I probably won't be able to make a claim. So I'm going to quickly show you the other wing. It's not as bad. Again, on the edges, you can see it's began to split on the edge, which means even if I got these sprayed, you will see that, so I do need to get it repaired. Just contacted Martin and had a conversation. We just sent him all of the evidence, how I've just received this, sent him the video too of me unpackaging it. Luckily I did do that, and we're both a bit confused how this has happened. What he has said though is, I know it's hassle, but package these wings back up, send them back to him, and he will do the repair free of charge, because it's kind of like no one's fault. So that's really good of him. I know it's hassle, but at least I can get that sorted, because there's no way I can get these sprayed now until that is repaired, basically. So that's that. Another thing I've noticed, which I am going to ask Martin, if not I'm going to do it myself, is there's no indicator hole cut out. I want to keep my side indicators. Again, it's not a problem. If he doesn't want to do that, I can do that with a Dremel, no problem. Other than that, these look completely fine. Just need to see how my OEM vents are going to fit. I don't know how they're going to fit until I take those out of the other stock wings. Now the bonnet, if I bring you over here, all needs spray work, so just ignore the finish. Other than that, I'm very impressed with how he's done the mould of these two vents. It's a very, very good job. He's left 2 holes here for the jets, so that means I can drill those out to the size required. And if I just quickly turn the bonnet around for you, I want to show you something that he's done for me, which is really impressive, to be fair. So this is underneath of the bonnet, and you can see he's like molded a custom sort of rain sort of draining system with the vents. So if I move this here, the rain will run down the bonnet, go through these 2 holes, through the tube, and then it like goes through to the overflow, and then it doesn't go into your engine bay. So I'm really impressed with that. That's a very helpful thing for me to have fitted to my RX-7, because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do about the rain situation. Even though I don't plan to take it out into the rain, we all get caught out at car shows or whatever sometimes. Sevens Day was a perfect example. Drove all the way to Birmingham to Advocate's place. The minute we left, it absolutely chucked it down with rain, and you know, luckily I didn't have the vented bonnet, but the other RX-7 I went with did. And yeah, that was more work for him to do when we got back. So yeah, that's the items anyway. It's a bit of a shame about these wings, but it's not the end of the world. Again, Concept 7, as good as he is, he just said send them back, he will repair those. What I am going to do though is just carry on fitting this stuff to the RX-7 in a second, because I really want to see what this is going to look like. At least I can get those fitted too, because it is going to need a lot of sort of other work doing anyway, so especially this side. I'd imagine you start with bolting the wing from this point here, and probably put the middle bolt in just so that secures the wing. And then I think where the fettling's going to be is down the bottom, because the holes are not going to be dead in line where my bolt holes are. So I think getting that bottom bit of the wing aligned and getting a bolt put in both sides will help. Once I get that wing fitted, it's not too many actually, there's just literally 3 at the top, 1 on the side here, 2 underneath, and then you've got the one that just goes in here. Once I get that wing fitted, I'm probably going to put the bonnet on at least. That's going to be a bit of a challenge on my own. Again, it's only 4 bolts, 2 this side in this bracket, 2 the other side. And then if I bring you over here, you can see I've got these carbon fibre Gredi bonnet dampers. So again, that's going to be a challenge if that's going to work on this new bonnet or not. To be fair, the bonnet does feel pretty light, so I'm really hoping that that's not going to affect those working. So yeah, let's crack on with trying to get at least this wing lined up, and then we can take a little look of how wide that's going to look against the stock OEM wing, which I've left fitted to the car. Just like I said, I began to secure the wing by using 2 bolts first. And then it was onto the floor to try and get this bottom bit correct, because if you don't get this right, it can start causing fitment issues. So that is the driver's wing now fitted, at least. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be honest. I've just used 4 bolts at the moment just to secure the wing on. You can put a few more on, but that is going absolutely nowhere. I've put 1 in the middle, 1 down here, and then 2 at the bottom, as you just seen me do. You can still put another 2 at the top and 1 behind here when you open the door. So the next check I need to do whilst this is fitted is actually open the driver's door to make sure it doesn't catch on the wing, because a lot of other owners that's fitted aftermarket wings, not just like this type, other styles too, that is actually a problem that they've come across. So we better check that now quickly before we move on to the next thing. So let's just gently fully open the door. Yep. Yeah, so that's absolutely fine. Let's just close it. yeah, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Nowhere near, to be honest. Another thing that can happen with aftermarket wings is this gap can be massive between this and the door, and to be honest, it doesn't look that bad. I can live with that gap. Nowhere near as big as I thought it was going to be. Down here I need to fit the other piece of my side skirts because it's a 4-piece kit, so that's just going to sort of sit sort of there, and then my side steps will attach to the side skirts too. Then, you know, the look will start coming together. I did mention earlier I need to fit the side indicators back into these new wings, so I need to get that hole cut out, and then I need to take the OEM vents out of my other wings and then try and see how they fit into this gap just here, but that's further on down the line. Let's move around to the front and just see this width difference then, because I really just want to see the difference. So we'll start with the wider side. Yeah, just visually that is massively different, even without all the bumper and stuff put on. Move around this side, you can just see how flat that looks compared to the one we just fitted. I think personally, when all of this stuff is back on and the car's dropped down, everything's resprayed, I really do believe this is going to look really nice. It's just an image I've had in my head now for so many years, and it was just a case for me struggling to get hold of the parts rather than like getting on with it. But it's a good day, I've got the parts, and I'm finally building that sort of front end dream that I wanted. So let's move on to the next step and try and get this bonnet fitted at least. It's just 4 bolts at the top. It attaches to these brackets here and then just lifts up. So this is going to be fun, trying to attach this on my own without damaging anything. So let's grab this bonnet and get this put on. That's the bonnet now installed. Let's just grab the front bumper, place that on, and start to see what this all looks like.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot on my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now.
Now I've placed the bonnets and one of the wings on, I need to move around to the other side now to remove the other wing. However, I've got the dreaded job of cutting the tiger seal that's holding on this piece of the side skirt before I can get to any of the bolts underneath of this wing. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just pulling away the piece. Now that's off, I can get access to the 2 bolts under the bottom of the wing. Surprisingly, these actually wasn't too bad to remove considering they've been in there for years, but now I've come across an issue trying to get access to another bolt in the wing because my door won't open fully. Just when you think you've seen it all, I've just basically had to climb over my driver's seat to get into the passenger seat because I've left my car too close to the wall, as you can see behind me, and there's a bolt which is on this side of the wing which I cannot get to. There's a tiny little gap. I've just literally made this contraption up. Let me just show you a second. So I've managed to somehow get that bolt out. I'm just going to get this back out now. Try not to drop the bolts. Oh, like so. Look at this. For God's sake. But yeah, I'm sat in my RX-7 in a tiny little gap with no fucking shoes on just to get that bolt out. But somehow I've managed to get this rusty piece of shit out basically. So let's get back out of the car and remove the last 3 which is underneath of the bonnet. I'm out. Fucking hell. Now I've got past that issue, I can start moving back to the remaining bolts that's holding the wing on, then it should come away. Last thing holding this wing on is a bolt hidden behind the bumper. I just need to take that bolt out, which I'm doing here, and then just remove the indicator, and then finally that should be the job done. And that's one passenger wing removed. Well, that was fun. Yeah, it's off. So let's move on to fitting this wider wing. So I'm just going to repeat the exact same process I did for the driver's side and just hold this passenger side wing on with a certain amount of bolts. That should be more than enough just to get the overall look that we want to see here.
right before I blow up the spot. I had to get back to the basics. What if my talent is wasted?
So that's now everything placed back on the RX-7 at least. It's not going to be perfect because everything needs bolting up properly, adjusting, etc. But I just wanted to give you guys and myself an overall look of what this is starting to look like, and I am so impressed with how this is starting to look. This is exactly the look that I wanted it to have. It just needed that little bit more sort of wider road presence look with the width, and I'm super happy that the heat can now escape that sort of area a bit more, and I also love the look of that new bonnet. Now there is still a lot more stuff I need to do to this before we can move on to the next sort of stages, but of course now the wings need repairing. I've got to get that sorted out before I can kind of bolt all of this stuff back on properly. So let me just grab the camera a second and just run through some of the extra stuff I need to do in the next video. So things like the washer jets and the tubing that needs transferring to this bonnet needs fitting. I need things like wheel spacers because the wheels are now going to be sort of too tucked into these new wide arches. I need the holes cut out on these wings so I can fit my LED indicators. I need the OEM vents taken out of the other OEM wings and transferring to these. Hopefully they fit nice and flush. The Mazda Speed little pieces need fitting back to the bodywork. That's the feed side steps, they need fitting back to my Mazda Speed side skirts I've just shown you. Down here I've got these arch extension pieces that came with the wider wings. I don't have a clue what you fit those to, or even if I need them yet, so that's going to be something else again to look into. Over here is my carbon fibre strut brace, which has just reminded me I need to test fit that in case that fouls on all of this new sort of rain drainage system bit, because when I shut the bonnet, if that fouls on here, that could be a problem with fitting my strut brace. So again, that's something else I need to test fit. I've got still a hell of a lot to do, which is going to have to go into a sort of part 2 of this video. Now, before I end this video, I just want to give you guys another update on things like my single turbo kit if you've been watching my previous videos. If you haven't, I've basically put an order in with SES Autoworks for a BorgWarner SX362 turbo kit, which has been quite a few months now because the bloke is absolutely stacked out with work. But I did contact him the other day and I'm about 4th now in the waiting list, and his other 3 jobs are not going to take that long, he doesn't reckon, which hopefully means now within the next sort of month or so I'll get an update with my turbo kit being started. Once I get the go ahead to go and pick that kit up, I'll video all of that too. We'll get the turbo kit in here, and I've got more plans I want to do to change that turbo kit to make it more unique for my build, so you've got that to look forward to too. If you didn't see my Goodwood Festival of Speed video I just did, I managed to get Mad Mike to sign my carbon fibre cooling panel, which sits at the front just here. I did walk around Goodwood like an idiot with this carbon fibre panel to hand just to get Mad Mike's signature on my panel, just to be part of my build. Now if you're wondering why that is in gold, that's because all of these purple pulleys are going to be going into a gold, which I have this centre pulley here done in a gold because I've got a spare one, which I can show you over here quickly. So this has been sitting over here for quite some time now, but it's a very nice looking gold. You've got to be careful with this colour because it can look tacky or it can just not really look right, so I do need to be careful. The idea is to keep the engine bay theme sort of black with just a few gold touches because I want them to match my my wheels, which you can see just down here with all the little gold details. That's the kind of look I'm going for. Another video that I've recently posted up was me fitting these 2x2 twill carbon fibre arch covers, which came from Thailand, and I've made some cutouts for access to the both stock bottles that you can see. So if you want to see how I got on with that, you can check that out in the description below. Lots more yet to do and to come, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all in the next video very soon, hopefully. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Fuck, you never thought you'd go back on your word. Broken promises set me back down to earth. Black down on the curb, guess time heals all acceptance. Cut deep.